So is the American dream dead? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about on today's video. Hey, gang, Dr. Steve here. And today I'm taking a deep dive on the state of the American dream in 2023. If you don't know, the historian James Adams coined the phrase American dream back in 1931 to capture the uniqueness of our national experience, our unbridled optimism, the confidence that we can achieve the impossible in a place of freedom and opportunity. But these days, defining precisely how you find success actually is symbolic of the very divides that exist between our two very polarized groups in America, the people versus the political class. For our founding fathers, the American dream, as you know, meant equal opportunity for everyone. For our permanent political class, it increasingly means not an equality of opportunity, but an enforced and engineered equality of outcome. You may have heard of the recent announcement by Wells Fargo Bank that they were only going to make home loans from now on to, quote, bank clients and minority borrowers. Or think of the way Black-only dorms have resurfaced on college campuses, my old stomping grounds. The quest for an equality of outcome is ironically ushering in a new kind of segregation and discrimination, not to mention what's appearing to be increasing economic stagnation. So I ask, in light of all this, is the American dream still attainable? Well, to discuss this topic, the American dream, and how we can restore it, I've invited an expert guest to join me today. Paul Fink is one of the foremost authorities in business and personal development today. He's the host of the Maverick Millionaire, and he's worked with some of the best known speakers in the world. But more than anything, he's a patriot and absolutely passionate about preserving the American dream. And make sure you stick with me to the very end of this video, because Paul and I have a special treat for all of you. You could click on the link below if you want a little sneak peek. But so, Paul, come on in. It's great to have you here. Welcome, my friend.
Oh my gosh, what a intro. Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here, Dr. Steve. It's
Paul, you and I were chatting earlier. You got to tell our audience about your kids. I think you're
jumping
our
right in.
Our whole audience is gonna think even more of you after they hear this.
So I am a business person. I am here about talking about the American dream and what it means. And I built it. Only one of the ways I built it is by having a great family. And I have 6 children, 3 sets of twins. And so if that's not enough, 3 sets of twins within 5.5 years.
Woo!
So we had 6 kids under 6 years old when the last set were born. And that's really the beginning of the life that I now live, because my youngest is now 21 years old.
Ah, okay.
And so we've gone through the test of time, gone through all the ins, outs, and ups and downs and economic challenges that can happen with raising a large family. And I'm here to tell you how I did it, share with you a little bit about our story, and to tell you that it can be done in abundance. And that's really where I began, is that when I had 6 kids, I was already an entrepreneur, only I was kind of living like moderate means, if you will. I was doing okay, just kind of doing my thing. But doing my thing meant I was still making $100,000. And $100,000 with 2 kids is where we kind of began. And my wife and I, and you can take a vacation once a year, and you can, you go out to eat once a week. But then 4 more came within the next 14 months. And a family of 8 on $100,000. And for most of this audience, they know that will not cut it. And I had to figure out how to do more, how to step up my internal game and step up my external game, and figure out how to really create the American dream, what we believe it could be in reality, so that my family could have a real life, so that they could live in that abundance and that dream of living in America and have all the opportunities available to them in the magnitude in which I was able to give them. And we've been able to prove the test of time. They're some of my best testimonials now as my children.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Well, so let's get right to the heart of it. I mean, so many in our audience are really despairing right now. They're really upset. They're upset politically. They're upset economically. So, this leads me to ask: in your view, is the American dream even real anymore?
The American dream used to be that you go to a corporation, you get a job, you live within that space for 30 to 40 years. You then retire, and the pension or the amount that you put towards the government and the company over all those years would carry you for the rest of your life after retirement. That American dream is no longer. It got shot up with holes long ago. The last downturn that we had proved without a shadow of a doubt that it doesn't work. And I was in real estate at the time. I was an entrepreneur at the time in 2008, 9, 10, and watched as things hit the brakes back then, which was not even compared to what we're doing now.
Right.
And recognize what it takes to step through that and keep succeeding. So the American dream, the way it was, the way they laid out, or their equivalent of what they thought it was, is gone.
Right.
What isn't gone, though, is our ability to succeed regardless.
Right.
And that's the real message. And I was fortunate enough to figure this out by happenstance. Long before other people did. I didn't have to go through the 40 years of getting proven that the American dream didn't work. Somehow I became unemployable long before that and started being an entrepreneur. And the key to an American dream in a future that really sustains in our world is to take control of your own life, take control of your own destiny. Absolutely resist the control of others and take it back and make it yours. And how do you do that in your business and your life? It's so much of what we talk about every day. It's about how do we make sure that the government and the corporations aren't controlling us, but we know how to control our own destiny. We know how to control our own life, and we are better at it than they are. Let us do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so since you're saying the message of the message of the American dream is still very much alive, but the mode or the means by which we got there is going to change. It's not the old kind of industrialized mechanisms that brought us there to that kind of economic, financial, social security. We're in a different age right now, and so we're going to have to adapt. And if we adapt, we're going to find that promise is still every bit as much here as it's always been.
Yes, yeah, it's the adaptation that's important, to understand that change is a must, and with that change, we can adjust and change to a different modality to be able to do all that serves us. That works for our being internal.
Right. Yeah, gang, I'm just going to spill the beans right here on this. But Paul, I get so excited when I listen to Paul talk. Paul and I are delving into very tangible ways to create the American dream for you, despite woke cancel culture and the like. And we're committed to sharing our resources with you to help you walk in freedom. And we're going to do that on Wednesday, February 8th. Write it down. Wednesday, February 8th at 3 p.m. Eastern for a totally free webinar. Just click on the link below to sign up. Now, you need to know seating is limited, so don't wait. Do it now. Click on that link below. You're not going to want to miss that. February 8th, 3 p.m. Eastern, where Paul's going to dive into all of his vast knowledge and how to realize the American dream in your own life. Paul, what can patriots do to help preserve this notion of American dream. You know, one of the things I think you and I grew up in a very different world than our kids. My youngest now is 16, so we're not far off there. My oldest is 22. So, I mean, we grew up in the 80s, Morning in America. I mean, it has been bad. A lot of people forget it was once really bad in our lifetimes. I mean, I'm not a boomer, so I don't remember any like depression or anything like World War II or anything like that. But, you know, we did deal with Carter and stagflation and the Iran hostage crisis, the embarrassment of trying to remember the failed attempt to try to rescue them. And I mean, it looked like the Soviet Union was going to take over. I mean, and then all of a sudden, this California governor comes out of nowhere, fresh off of his Barry Goldwater speech back in 1964, and we had this explosion for the next 30 years of robust economic growth and optimism and Americana and the like. You know, what can we do to try to? Yeah, there you go.
That's it. You know, remember, and for me, it's remembering. For some of you, it's studying the Reagan years and understanding why we were able to center around Reagan and what he was able to do in fighting communism, in battling the forces, not just locally, but worldwide. Right. And how he came out of nowhere and became a world leader that everyone respected. How did that happen? Is because, and some of the things that I want to share with you is an internal game, not just an external game. So there's tools and strategies in how to utilize business and understanding finance. And I've been in real estate investing for the last 20 years. I've been a financier. We finance and fund businesses. We help them grow and develop. And my clients are everybody from startups to people that are running $100 million and multi-$100 million companies. The key that Reagan started with us and that we can all do is understand the vision and purpose. Reagan shared a vision of what he saw, of optimism that transcended everything. And when he was able to speak into that vision, people responded like, yeah, I want to see that too. And when people want to see the vision that you're seeing, they'll tap into your vehicle. They'll tap into your journey. They'll tap into your business. And then we have a community that is a force to be reckoned with. Mm. So what can you do both on a business, personal level, on a political level is speak out loud and speak your vision of optimism, not what you don't want. Speak into what you do want, what you want to see, what you love, how you want your future to be, how you want the future to be for your children and what that's going to look like. Speak the vision and share it from the rooftops. That's what Reagan did. That was a catalyst for change worldwide. And it's something to be modeled. He got up there. He didn't get riled up emotionally. So that emotional intelligence is important. Yeah. He brought it all in, used humor and engaged with people on understanding that regardless of your angst, regardless of your division, there's a vision of greatness that we can all accomplish together when we join forces. Mm-hmm. And what does that look like? How do we make that happen? What, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years down the road, what do you want your world to be? What do you want it to look like? And be optimistic that it's going to get there. And all I need is for you and you and you to join me.
Wow. Again, gang, if you're just joining us, Paul and I are hosting a free webinar on Wednesday, February 8th, 3 p.m. Eastern, where you can learn all the tangible ways that you can create the American dream for yourself so you can walk in freedom and financial flourishing. Paul, can you give us a quick summary of what people can expect at this event and and why all freedom-loving patriots who really want to create their own American dream, and that's really key, isn't it? Taking that initiative, taking that step to create your own American dream, why they should be there.
The American dream for me is building business and building a community that is self-sustaining, that we can create and build and grow regardless of what the government does, regardless of what's going on in the world. We're still able to build and grow. And that starts with building your own economy, building your own business, building your own destiny. And a lot of this sounds yah-yah, only I've got proof of the pudding that I've been doing this for now almost 40 years. I've been building my own companies. I've built multiple multi-million-dollar companies. And now I share, for the last 16 years, I've been running around the world sharing some of the messaging on how. And some of that is the economics, understanding finance, understanding wealth building strategies. The other component is, so some of that's your matrix of finance. The other is your matrix of what vertical, what vehicle, what industry are you going to delve into? And there are certain ones that deliver really well, and others that, well, maybe are dinosaurs that aren't going to serve you. How do we shift? How do we transition from what you're doing to what you were doing to what you could be doing that'll serve you better? How to transition from a corporate job, or for many of our clients here and our listeners, I should say, are transitioning from, listen, they've gotten sick of corporate world. They understand that it doesn't serve their future. They've been transitioned out of work during COVID or all the craziness that's happened in the last couple of years, and their business has been hurt, or their companies have been hurt and they've been let go, or transitioned out of a place that they really don't enjoy it, or into a place they don't enjoy. How do they transition from that into taking control of their life, taking control and power over their industry or their business, and building it, double and tripling the results over the next 12 months? That's my focus overall.
That's all. That's huge. That was huge for me, Paul. I'm so glad you bring that up. That transition that is so horrifying for people, especially if they've been employees for ages. So I was in the academy for 20 years. I was in education, and the idea of going off on my own and being a full-time YouTuber, that was freaky. And it was so interesting because I started making the money first. I mean, it was coming in, and I looked at my wife and I said, I don't need the university anymore. I don't need the classical school anymore. But there was just a sense of, but you can't give them up because they're stable and they provide some kind of security. And I don't want to.
Don't.
But they, and this is the beauty of it. This is the beauty. Go, speak.
The stability. So for many, many years, I didn't actually recognize how different working for somebody was versus being an entrepreneur, because I've had the great blessing of not being employable early on. So right out of college, I went right into straight commission sales. Within my first year out of college, I had my first corporation. I was medical supply distributor, had 7 salespeople working for me at the age of 22. Right out of college, I became this entrepreneur. And so I've never had the experience of having to have someone else tell me where to go or what to do. When I started coaching people and working with people that were in this transition, and they're like, oh my gosh, I quit my job, now what? I was like, go and do. What do you mean you don't know what to do? Wait. And I've learned, and we've built structures and systems. And one of the things that I'll share on our webinar is some of the components on how to take control of your time, how to understand how to structure yourself and manage yourself so that you boss yourself, and what that looks like. Because some people don't know how to do that. And so they're like, well, I can take off, so I will take off. And how do you stay the course and create a work ethic that serves you without becoming then a workaholic, which is the other extreme of that? and there's a
Right.
balance to be had.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, a lot of what we've been talking about of late is the emergence of a parallel economy. That's really a parallel world. They call it frontier innovators. It's going on
Yes.
all over the place, from Uganda to Utah. And
Yes.
yeah, and I've been really pushing this with people. So if you feel like your voice isn't being heard, particularly in politics, just all the political decisions are now being made by a bunch of elite, and they don't care what you have to say. If you feel the same thing with the corporate elite, and that your purchase
Very
power
similar
is
now.
being, yeah, exactly, yeah, and Davos crowd and all, they just take total, take your purchasing power for granted. And like, one of the best ways to feel like you can get a sense of control, relocalize your decision making, is through entrepreneurship and helping to build that parallel economy that's growing. But I mean, look at Elon. I mean, Elon right now is he's probably
Crazy.
parallel economy, czar at this point. It's just
Yep.
astonishing what he's doing. And we could do it at our own local levels.
And
And you really, I have to say, Paul, it's hearing you, it's very inspiring. And you make it very delectable, as it were, to really want to do that. And there's a sense of, okay, the internal and the external could come together, and I can, by this time next year, I can be in a fundamentally different place of life.
yeah, and the message I want to deliver, because I absolutely believe that anyone can, that it doesn't matter about schooling. I have some people that one of my great clients right now basically barely made it through high school, dropped out of college almost immediately, and now is a megastar doing international business, earning over 100 million. There's some major testimonials on who I've been working with. Was just on the phone with one of my other clients, one of the largest landowners in North California, and how we structured and helped him delegate and relegate his businesses. It absolutely controlled everything and learned how to let go of it to the next generation, which was his kids. And we worked, he had 5 different businesses, and now he's pretty much in semi-retirement, has a couple calls a week. And other than that, he enjoys all his wealth, and he's somewhere in excess of a couple $100 million as well. And how this is possible for anybody.
Right.
And what I would say is there's tons of our clientele here that are still in corporate America, or still have a job. And they're listening to this going, oh man, if only I could tap in, if only I could tap into a little bit here, a little bit there, and transition. And so much of what I'm going to be talking about on a webinar is how to do that it doesn't have to be all in or nothing. It can be, right, let's do some incremental. Let's show you how you can do some arbitrage and learn how to be your own bank. Let's figure out how to do some real estate on the side and make that happen. Let's talk about how to be information marketer and how to start a business from scratch to be able to tap into your expertise. There's so many opportunities now, especially with the digital age, where you can do this in the middle of the night, right, on your own. And I'm not talking about, listen, I'm not a webinar guy or a funnel guy. I'm not going to teach you funnel marketing, but I'm going to teach you the fundamentals of business and how to get started from your belief system, your vision, your mission, your purpose, and create the structure on a work ethic, step by step, to create it in your world, so that, yes, you could support 6 kids. Yes, you could have abundance and travel around the world at whim like we do. I'm going to be on a cruise, which is business and pleasure. I'm speaking on a cruise next week, and we are down in the Caribbean. My wife will be with me as well, so we're going to have a blast. And about 30 of our community is going to be with us and hanging out.
Awesome.
We're then going to be in LA for the premiere of our movie. which is great. And I'm going to be in a movie now called Beyond Limitations, which is just being released on Amazon Prime. You've got to go check it out. And it's a thought leader movie about how to break through limitations. And I'm one of about 10 thought leaders in that movie. How then we're going to be in Orlando, which is one of my next event. And I go coast to coast with events all around the country in teaching and training on all this. This is the lifestyle that I chose, I designed, I created from scratch. And we're here to share with you how you can do it and how you can tap into that so that you don't have to be reliant. If you want to quit your job, if you're tired of listening to your boss, you can say, screw you. If you want to absolutely get control and say, listen, I want to go off the grid, you'll have the resources to be able to do that. If you want to simply live a great life and build something great for your children, you'll have the resources, the ability, the strength of mind, character, and soul to do that. That's what so much of this is about. It's not about any one structure or system. It's about that you can. And how do you get started in that process?
Right. Isn't that beautiful? Every day is the first day of the rest of your life. It's wonderful. Gang, don't forget to sign up for your free event on February 8th, 3 p.m. Eastern. You'll join Paul and me. All you have to do is just click on that link below. Absolutely free, but seating is limited. So don't wait. You want to click on that link right now. You're not going to want to miss this. So Paul Fink, my friend, thank you so much for being with us. I'm inspired, man. Ready to build that parallel economy. It's going to be awesome.
That's it.
We'll see you on the 8th, my friend.
Building your utopia. Let's make it happen. Dr. Steve, pleasure.
God bless, bro.